Good day, family. Welcome. My name is Simanga Makhubu, and this is the BigDaddy Football Corner. And today I'm just covering Bafetu, Orlando Pirates versus Sekhukhune. Game played at Peter Mokaba, the Old Peter Mokaba Stadium. Orlando Pirates winning this match by 2-1, and Hoto as well as Makawula scoring those goals. And Linda Mtambo, the former Orlando Pirates player, scoring for Sekhukhune. What's happening, guys, with these Orlando Pirates former players that normally goes and score every time? I told the TTV show, a WhatsApp group, when Mtambo came in, and I said, Safa. And guess what? He's the one that took the shot, and then he ended up being the one that finished it. What's up with Orlando Pirates? Former players always scoring against Orlando Pirates. Wow. But anyway, I honestly think it wasn't the greatest of games. I think honestly, when Orlando Pirates sees this one game, they will say possibly it wasn't our best. But even with the fact that it wasn't their best, they actually won. And I think that talks to a club that has changed how it thinks, because last season, this is one game that Orlando Pirates could have easily lost. And then if you look at then the lineup coming into the game, Buffett, as we know, we tactically break down games, or all Orlando Pirates games. So Hoto starting, it made me think. I've been very critical of the fact that Orlando Pirates let go of Gilberto when they knew there's issues with Saleng not playing, which meant you are without, if Gilberto goes, you're without two wingers. They also did not replace any of those wingers. And I was very critical of that fact. But then I also then started thinking, what's the thing around the coach? Because they did not replace them or sign any other wing. Then I remembered that Shandu has played as a winger. He has played as a midfielder before, as well as Ulebito played as a winger, converted into a right back. Also, Umonyane as well can play as a winger. He played as a striker, before converted into a right back, which means already actually in terms of profile, with Moleleki included there, Orlando Pirates have wingers. But the issue is that quality same as having a Saleng or a Gilberto? That's something else for that. But it gave me a reason of why Orlando Pirates actually do that. So, and that's the reason. If you look at as well as the game that just finishes, Sekhukhune, actually Shandu ended up playing as a right back, as well as the day when Lebito got injured, also he played as a winger as well. Then the other thing is, I honestly think that Orlando Pirates have improved on their set pieces. I think the game against Kaizer Chiefs, I watched them doing certain variations, on set pieces. And again today, we actually, Orlando Pirates ended up scoring from a free kick. For me, that shows that on set pieces, it looks like there's something that Orlando Pirates are doing. And I hope it continues and we see more of it as we go forward. But what I noticed then from the Sekhukhune side is they were using Uboyeli as the focal point. It looks like the gameplay was to also use him as a focal point and then play off him and play from the second ball, meaning the second attack with the second attack from the balls that could have been played. I watched a couple of times where they were trying to get out of him and then play from the second balls. The other thing I also noticed was Umbule doing what Utito normally does, where he will try and create free kicks or create situations where he can get free kicks for the team outside the box. I think in the first 20 minutes, I think Orlando Pirates considered something like 3 free kicks just near the outside area. And it was because of Mbule doing that in that particular game. So that was another interesting detail. Then the other one was how Orlando Pirates were playing off Tito and Rele. But what was interesting was that Rele, in some instances, and even Tito, they were playing long balls. When Rele is on the other side, he's going to play into diagonally to the other side of Hoto. And when Tito is on the other side, because he normally operates between He likes operating next to that half space between Otto, as well as the central midfielders. He likes operating. When he's there, he's gonna play a long ball to Urele, or even play a long ball to Uhoto on the other side. And if also look at Emma long balls that they actually played, Urele, no Tito. There are about 6 of them. So for me, it looks like there was something in the detail that they were trying to play the balls quicker into those outside areas. But I honestly think that Sekhukhune won the midfield battle in this particular game, because if you remember in midfield, you had Monare, Mahlangu, Mbule, and you remember Ramala would always invert in as a winger and add the number. So it was always a 4v3 situation in midfield. It looks like they wanted to overcrowd the central areas, which is what every team does if they want to ensure that they dominate Orlando Pirates. But what I've also noticed is that it looks like Jose is this time around, this particular season, he's more pragmatic, very much more pragmatic this particular season, because he seemed not to care so much about controlling the match. But what he's obsessed about now is to controlling the result. Because if you look at the game we played against Cape Town City, they were running, the midfield. If you look at the game against Chipa, even if the game against Chiefs as well, Pirates did not played well in midfield, and they were dominated. And it doesn't even look Jose was concerned about being dominated into that midfield, especially the game against Sekhukhune. But the result, what did the result say? Orlando Pirates win, which means his obsession is winning more than controlling the midfield. So then the other thing then is, I said on Twitter that if Orlando Pirates can control Makhalwa receiving the ball, they can control the attack Sekhukhune, because they are using more of Makhalwa all the time. They were always looking for him. If you look at the concentration of play, it was more on Makhalwa's side, trying to make situation or even attack using that side, like, because he's the most creative. If you look at the records currently, he's the most player that create chances in the plot. So they're always looking for him. If you look at the concentration of play, it will tell you exactly that. So the other detail that I noticed was Jose's team does not like to play crosses, guys. They don't like playing crosses. I think Coach Picasso from the TTB show, he explained that the fact that you will have a right-footed player on the right and a left-footed player on the right and a right-footed player on the left, it simply means already you are saying you don't want crosses to play in the box, because the ball, when it's in your strongest foot, it's when he needs to cut more inside and play in those half channels. So that already limits the crosses. But what I found interesting was, whenever Pirates play crosses, they add that element of surprise, because in this particular game, the central corridor was more dominated and they were giving them space on the outside channel to be able to run. But they did not anticipate that Orlando Pirates is going to play a cross from that zone into the box, which is where Makaula scored a goal. I would like Orlando Pirates to use more, because the last time also, I remember playing a surprise cross was also against Cape Town City, I think at Orlando Stadium. Rele, I think, was the one that crossed the ball into Mabasa and scored from that. That element of surprise, I will really, really, really love Orlando Pirates to actually do it more often. But if you want to hurt Orlando Pirates, you are any team in the PSL, just pump the balls into the box. Whether it's going to be crosses, whether it's going to be corners, whether it's going to be throw-ins, or whether you're going to get players into the wings and cross, whether you are far in the far channel or in the inside right or inside left into the box, Orlando Pirates are very, very vulnerable in those kind of situations. They look very uncomfortable when they have to defend those type of balls, and they always look like conceding. And I think teams, if they really want to get Orlando Pirates into the corner, play those balls more often, and you are highly likely to get the ball. And if you look at the goal that was scored by Captain Wabo, it came from such a situation where he took a shot, and then there was a cross that came from the right, and then boom, it ended up being a goal. Orlando Pirates in those kind of situations, very, very vulnerable. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. If you've got anything that you think I've left just ensure that you comment, you like, you subscribe into the channel. Danko.